Today, we are on our third series of our tour of the Grand Teton National Park, and our first stop is Mormon. Unfortunately, Grand Teton and the surrounding area is covered with smoke coming from the fire in California and Colorado.
Most any place that you stay here now, unless you've gotten reservations back in January, you're going to be about an hour away from any of the parks. You just get up early in the morning, haul down the road, and get the one that you want to see. List your sites before you start your day, and that way you have an itinerary and you get a lot more done. Everything we saw was just more impressive than the last thing that we saw. It's just hard to imagine trying to get all of that into a camera lens. It just will never happen, unless you're National Geographic, of course.
Yes, this is the road to Grand Teton National Park. We just entered the Grand Teton area, and on the right side is the Grand Teton National Park sign. According to the history of Mormon, leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or Mormons, sent parties from the Salt Lake Valley to establish new communities and support their expanding population. Homesteaders established 27 homesteads in the Grovant area because of their relatively fertile soil. Despite the harsh conditions of Jackson Hole, Mormon settlers grew crops by using irrigation. We just made it to Mormon. The left side of the road was settled by John Moulton, and the right side was settled by his brother Thomas Alma Moulton. Mormon was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1997 as an historic district. This area was once a vibrant community near the turn of the 19th century. This pink house is the labor of love of John Moulton to his wife Martha. He wanted to surprise his wife, and he painted it pink because that was her favorite color. The National Park Service and the Grand Teton National Park Foundation are partnering up to preserve and stabilize this pink house. Today, there are two picturesque barns that highlight Mormon. This barn was built by John Moulton. The barn behind us is the famous Thomas Alma Moulton barn. He homesteaded this property in 1908 as a bachelor. The original barn had a flat roof. It provided a necessary service for the Moulton family. Photographers from all around the world stopped by T.A. Moulton's barn to capture this iconic historic structure with the Teton Range in the background. Preservation efforts have been undertaken by both the Moulton family and the Grand Teton National Park to ensure that this barn continues to illustrate the traits and successes of homesteading in Jackson Hole. People living in this area have the great view of the Grand Teton. Homesteaders who settled here near the turn of the 19th century clustered their farms to share labor and community. Water still flows in some of the ditches that was built by the settlers, and this is one of them. They dug ditches by hand and with teams of horses, building an intricate network of levees and dikes to funnel water from the central ditches to their fields between 1896 and 1937. Past the Moulton barn, you will find a collection of houses that was probably part of this community way back in time. Leaving Mormon. Signal Mountain Lodge, right there. They also have a general store and gas station. Behind Signal Mountain Lodge is Jackson Lake. This natural lake was enlarged by the construction of the Jackson Lake Dam, which was originally built in 1911, enlarged in 1916, and rebuilt by 1989. We had a surprise, and we saw this black bear on our way to the Chapel of the Sacred Heart. The Chapel of the Sacred Heart is on Catholic Bay of Jackson Lake. This beautiful chapel was built in 1937 and is recognized by the Teton County Historic Preservation Board as being more than 50 years old. The church has several pictures inside where you can see the original building as well as the restoration throughout the years. The Catholic Church owns this chapel and usually offers Sunday services during the summer, and picnic area is next to the chapel and offers view of Jackson Lake. We are at Jackson Lake Dam, and it's so beautiful here. Look at the sun. Wow, look at that big lake. And here's the dam. Wow, look at that rapid water coming through. Sky, the sun is peeking out the clouds, and look at the mountains. That's the Grand Teton. Look at this beautiful lake with the reflection of the mountain and the Grand Teton on the background. The opposite side of this sign is the Shoshone National Forest sign. Bridger Teton National Forest stretches from Yellowstone National Park along the eastern boundary of Grand Teton National Park, and from there rides along the western slope of the Continental Divide to the southern end of the Wind River Range. Shoshone National Forest is the first federally protected national forest in the United States and covers nearly 2,500,000 acres in the state of Wyoming.
That is just incredible. Look what popped up in front of us.
Wow.
Pinnacle Butte near Shoshone National Forest. It is just as incredible as the Tetons. Yeah, not many people talk about this one.
Pinnacle Buttes are in the Togwotee group of the Absaroka Range of Wyoming. The view of this formation has impressed millions crossing Togwotee Pass on their way to Yellowstone and Teton National Park. The alpine tundra of the tilting summit plateau of the main butte is guarded by cliffs on all four sides, with the southeast side of the main summit being the most broken. We hope you enjoyed touring part of the Grand Teton National Park, the Scenic Drive through Bridger Teton National Forest, and the Shoshone National Forest. If you'd like to see more of our travel video, click the thumbs up and the subscribe button below. Until next time, we wish you many happy trails with your family. Thank you.